Hey everyone, this is Deborah and today I'm going to be making some journal covers out of this piece of packaging. This came from Amazon and it had a couple of books in it. So I thought when I opened the package, the first thing that struck me was I've got two journal covers sitting here and I don't have to do much to them other than cover them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I thought I would just begin with that and see what I can make out of these. So I've just pulled some scraps out because I know that, like me, you probably have a lot of scraps, and I've cut them down. Now I'm a quilter, so I'm thinking I'm going to do a bit of a patchworky sort of thing on this. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll have a go and see. I don't know if that bit might be a little bit too big, but we'll just see what this looks like once it's done. And I'm just putting random pieces down so that I get a bit of a, an all over look that's not all the same. I'm actually going to cut this one off, I think. Just overlap that a little bit. And while I'm here, I'm going to do the inside as well. I like this look, and I also think it's a good way to use up your scraps, especially when your scraps are nice like these ones. Maybe a year or so ago, I was watching a lady on YouTube. She's called Bohemian Crafting. I still watch her sometimes, but she did this thing with a spine, like a corset tie, and she had it with the loose pieces coming together to form the corset, and that just looked all a bit difficult for me because I'm not terribly coordinated. So rather than doing it that way, I wanted to work out another method to create that same look but using a different method. And I did something on my lap book recently that kind of brought all that back, and I thought, why don't I give this one a go and see if I can make it work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I've just I've used a few eyelets and a bit of scrap paper and an old box, so it's not the end of the world if it doesn't work. And I'm thinking every 2 inch or every 1 inch you might have to do it. Let's test them out before I start putting anything in. In fact, I'm going to punch the holes first before I set the eyelets, because I can always cover that if it doesn't work out. I'm just using my big bite, and it should go through this fine because this is soft cardboard really. It's not heavy duty at all. so that would be my holes, and I might just get my thread out and see if that works as well. I'm thinking, you know how you tie a shoelace so you get that crisscrossed effect? That would be the kind of look I'd be going for. I'll just give it a wee test first before we move on and set the eyelets. I think that I like the extra crisscross rather than just a single one and then a big gap. So I think this is what I'm going to do. But first of all, I need to take all that undone because I'm going to set the eyelets in there before I move on further. I hope you're all crafting today, finding something to do, crafting along with me, making something. This big bite just makes life so much easier. Struggling along setting eyelets the old-fashioned way, it's just so easy this way. Okay, eyelets are in. Now to thread that up again. I think this piece of thread I cut before should be long enough, so we'll start with it and see how things go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all this with washi tape, which might seem a bit pointless, but what I'll get is I'll get the paper that's underneath coming through because the washi tape is reasonably clear. It's got some embellishment on it, but it doesn't have a great deal. You can still see that paper through the washi tape. I think that's quite an interesting look, and it means nothing's going to fall off. It's going to be all stuck down, those papers. And I could have just stuck this straight onto the box, but the problem would be then is that you'd see the box. And I didn't really plan to put the washi tape down, it just came to me that this might be something that would look good. And when I put the signatures in here, this is going to be hidden, so you're not going to get all the raw edges of the eyelets there. Sometimes washi won't behave, it doesn't want to do what I want it to do today. There you go, got it. There you go. There's my faux corset spine cover for my journal, and I will come back in another video and show you how I put a signature into this one, because I do have an idea on how to do that, and hopefully you'll come back and join me when I do that. So for now, this is Deborah. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.